Hello and welcome. Today we bring you life lessons I learned from the greatest quotes of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And we start with this quote where he said, "Hate is too great a burden to bear." In some not too distant tomorrow, the radiant stars of love and brotherhood will shine over our great nation with all their scintillating beauty. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. When our days become dreary with low hovering clouds and our nights become darker than 1,000 midnights, we will know that we are living in the creative turmoil of a genuine civilization struggling to be born. Let us rise up tonight with greater readiness. Let us stand with a greater determination, and let us move on in these powerful days, these days of challenge to make America what it ought to be. We have an opportunity to make America a better nation. Non-violence is not sterile passivity, but a powerful moral force which makes for social transformation. It may be true that morality cannot be legislated, but behavior can be regulated. It may be true that the law cannot change the heart, but it can restrain the heartless. Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. The time is always right to do what is right. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Out of the mountain of despair, a stone of hope. I was a drum major for justice, peace, and righteousness. We shall overcome, because the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. I have decided to stick to love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? I submit to you that if a man has not discovered something that he will die for, he isn't fit to live. A man dies when he refuses to stand up for that which is right. A man dies when he refuses to stand up for justice. A man dies when he refuses to take a stand for that which is true. If any of you are around when I have to meet my day. I'd like for somebody to say that day that Martin Luther King Jr. tried to love somebody. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over. And I've seen the promised land. We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. If a man is called to be a street sweeper, he should sweep streets even as Michelangelo painted, or Beethoven composed music, or Shakespeare wrote poetry. He should sweep streets so well that all the host of heaven and earth will pause to say, "Here lived the great street sweeper who did his job well." Those who are not looking for happiness are the most likely to find it, because those who are searching forget that the surest way to be happy is to seek happiness for others. There is some good in the worst of us and some evil in the best of us. When we discover this, we are less prone to hate our enemies. As my sufferings mounted, I soon realized that there were two ways in which I could respond to my situation. Either to react with bitterness or seek to transform the suffering into a creative force. I decided to follow the latter course. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. I have the audacity to believe that peoples everywhere can have 3 meals a day for their bodies, education and culture for their minds, and dignity, equality, and freedom for their spirits. We must come to see that the end we seek is a society at peace with itself, a society that can live with its conscience. Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Forgiveness is not an occasional act. It is a permanent attitude. Take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. The beauty of genuine brotherhood and peace is more precious than diamonds or silver or gold. We must forever conduct our struggle on the high plane of dignity and discipline. Non-cooperation with evil is as much a moral obligation as is cooperation with good. Cowardice asks the question, is it safe? Expediency asks the question, is it politic? Vanity asks the question, is it popular? But the conscience asks the question, is it right? No one really knows why they are alive until they know what they die for. He who passively accepts evil is as much involved in it as he who helps to perpetrate it. He who accepts evil without protesting against it, it is really cooperating with it. Science investigates. Religion interprets. Science gives man knowledge, which is power. Religion gives man wisdom, which is control. Science deals mainly with facts. Religion deals mainly with values. The two are not rivals. People fail to get along because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because they have not communicated with each other. No person has the right to reign on your dreams. It is not enough to say we must not wage war. It is necessary to love peace and sacrifice for it. We must concentrate not merely on the negative expulsion of war, but the positive affirmation of peace. Every nation must now develop an overriding loyalty to mankind as a whole in order to preserve the best in their individual societies. Hatred paralyzes life. Love releases it. Hatred confuses life. Love harmonizes it. Hatred darkens life. Love illuminates it. Power without love is reckless and abusive. And love without power is sentimental and anemic. Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice, and justice at its best is power correcting everything that stands against love. Lightning makes no sound until it strikes. The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. Freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. Let no man pull you so low as to hate him. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in reality. This is why right, temporarily defeated, is stronger than evil, triumphant. Make a career of humanity. Commit yourself to the noble struggle for equal rights. You will make a better person of yourself. a greater nation of your country, and a finer world to live in. If we are to have peace on earth, our loyalties must become ecumenical rather than sectional. Our loyalties must transcend our race, our tribe, our class, and our nation. And this means we must develop a world perspective. We may have all come on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. The quality, not the longevity of one's life, is what is important. The ultimate tragedy is not the oppression and cruelty by the bad people, but the silence over that by the good people. The whirlwinds of revolt will continue to shake the foundations of our nation until the bright day of justice emerges. We will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. Whenever you take a stand for truth and justice, you are liable to scorn. We refuse to believe that the Bank of Justice is bankrupt. I believe that wounded justice, lying prostrate on the blood-flowing streets of our nations, can be lifted from this dust of shame to reign supreme among the children of men. Nothing in all the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. True peace is not merely the absence of tension, it is the presence of justice. He who hates does not know God, but he who loves has the key that unlocks the door to the meaning of ultimate reality. When I talk about love, I'm not talking about emotional bosh. I'm not talking about some sentimental or even some affectionate emotion. I am talking about something much deeper. A genuine leader is not a succor for consensus, but a mode of consensus. Everybody can be great because everybody can serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. I believe that what self-centered men have torn down, other-centered men can build up. We all have the drum major instinct. We all want to be important, to surpass others, to achieve distinction, to lead the parade. And the great issue of life is to harness the drum major instinct. It is a good instinct if you don't distort it and pervert it. Don't give it up. Keep feeling the need for being important. Keep feeling the need for being first. But I want you to be the first in love. I want you to be the first in moral excellence. I want you to be the first in generosity. We must walk on in the days ahead with an audacious faith in the future. There comes a time when silence is betrayal. In the long run of history, destructive means cannot bring about constructive ends. We have come a long, long way, but we have a long, long way to go. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. When we let freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, "Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last." These quotes reflect Dr. King's commitment to justice, equality, love, and nonviolence. They encapsulate Martin Luther King Jr.'s wisdom, his vision, and commitment to justice and equality for all human beings. May his words continue to inspire us to create a world filled with peace, unity, and equality. Let us honor his legacy by embracing love, empathy, and justice in our everyday lives. Let us carry forward his message of hope, love, and equality. Together, we can continue to champion his dream of a better tomorrow. Remember, the dream lives on in each of us. Together, we can build a brighter future for generations to come. If we brought you value today, like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring content coming your way from the greatest minds of all times. And remember this quote from the great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "True peace is not merely the absence of tension, it is the presence of justice." Until next time, stay safe, stay motivated, and thanks for watching The Growth Mindset. Take care.